back. So I went to locals, and it was his first event, first locals back with Jet Synchron, and I was so hyped. But things just did not go as I planned. It was just so bad. I lost my first two rounds. I get a bye round three. My tiebreakers get paired up against each other, and I'm like, oh my god, this is not going good. This is not going good. So I ended up getting a bye, but I ended up winning my last two rounds. I was like, oh my god, okay, well yeah, it was horrible. But it was so exciting though, cause like Jet's back. It was super hyped. Okay, so basically triple starter synchron, right? It's just not gonna change anytime soon. Triple junk synchron. It's just you need to play three of each. It's just having the ruler play be like your one of your primary plays is so crucial because you want to be able to mill this off of it. You know, if you take away this, the chances of you milling these guys are not as high. So you want to maintain that consistent mill, right? Because you want to get to these. You want to mill this with other level twos, so then you can summon and you can have extenders, especially because you play Caligo and Jester. And then of course you have Walker, one of the best primary plays the deck has. It sets up, it discards your little guys. It discards these guys. It's just so good. Like there's some pretty cool things you can do by like discarding this and having double in hand, because you can discard this, special and special, yeah, and then you go overtake, special this, and then you go Baron, two tokens, then make Speeder, and it puts them on two hand traps. They have to have two hand traps, you know? Like that's pretty cool. And the fact that you can just like discard anything, right? Special the ant, summon this, go for the Excel play, which is really really cool. That'd be awesome if this summoned from graveyard as well. Oh my goodness, how cool would that be? That means that was so cool. That was so cool. But yeah, even with the Strudo was amazing. That's why you play a particular card. I'll show you in a bit. You discard the Strudo, discard this, summon ant. This should target this, make it level 2, go ruler, and if they stop ruler, if they don't stop ruler, it doesn't matter. Then you make Baron, and then it puts them on two hand chips again. It's basically what the Brave Bench is meant to be doing. Like it makes them it forces them to have two interactions to stop your push, which is quite nice. And then of course you have your Double Warrior, one of the deck's MVP for sure. Like this is like this and Overtake, this and Doppel just makes one of the best boards. Oh my god, it's just insane. Then of course you have silent mining for synchrons. They basically discard a tuner in itself, add a synchron from your deck to your hand. If you synchro something with this, you can reborn a tuner, which is huge. And this and any tuner play gets even better because of Jet and Mermer. Because like now you have a line where you have to go Baron pop your Yazi, and then you go Yazi, and then you go. You know, it's just insane. It made it infinitely better. And then of course you have your Caligos, right? Caligos is insane. Ego junk effect. Target either converter or doppel. They're gonna have to think really hard whether they can afford to let that resolve, right? Because otherwise they'll be like, oh, we'll just wait for the speeder, right? But by then it's just fine because that means you have a second play. It's a bit more luck based, but still nonetheless it's still another play. If you target this and let it resolve, then you and negate speeder, then you revive your junk, and then you go for chaos ruler play, right? And then if they stop that, and if you have a starter synchron engraved, you tribute the chaos ruler, trigger doppel, and then continue, right? Assuming you have double warrior. And then if they have this, then it gives you option to do the Excel play, crowing or belling you on the effect. So that's when you go, okay, special this. The consistent thing you want to keep doing, you want to make sure that they have to have 200 reps. Like they have to have 200 reps to be able to stop your push, which is what I really like about this. And so, same thing as in why the ratios are this way. You want to be able to have a higher chance of milling it off Chaos Ruler. And then of course you have your Jester, right? It's just insane. Like opening up this in tuning or this in starter synchron, it gives you a better layer that the deck didn't have before, because this is basically for junk, right? Go overtake, special this, having summon your actual junk. Go summon Stardust, search illumination, special this. Go into speeder, they saw speeder, okay. Illumination sends trail, tribute speeder, trigger trail, trigger doppel, reduce, make excel, and climb that way. Like it just give it, because otherwise you'd be forced to not have the trail trigger, which is something that you kind of want to avoid. And then of course you have like your garnets, like ones you don't want to draw, but they just hide the sling so well, and it helps against like it helps with the weaknesses that the deck has. Like Post Nibiru, if you haven't seen the video, just go ahead and check it out. I'll put a little link, little thing right here. You can check it out. It makes it really, really good because once you resolve Speeder and you resolve Search Synchron to search trail, you feel so secure because once again, what's the game? What do we want to do? We want to ensure that they need to have 2 hand traps to stop you. That's the whole point of these extenders, to force them to have 2 hand traps. You know, and if they have 2 hand traps, okay, fair enough. I mean, what else are we gonna do? But yeah, like if you haven't watched the video, this is insane. Like Post the video, draw 5, and if you want, you can play Blazer, but if not, you can just play like make a Baron, you know, or Crystal Wing Herald. And then of course you have your Destrudo. These are your dragons, right? Destrudo, your Trail, Fire Ant, and of course the new guy. Oh my god, this guy's so good, man. This is so good. And one of the things that we were discussing this past few nights, since the ban list, we're like, well, what happens to this guy? What do we do with this guy? Because this was only filling the slot of a level 1, you know, because we needed to make a shaman climb. But yesterday, last minute, he was not in the deck. And I'm so glad I put him in. I'm so glad. It is so good. It is so good. It's just worth playing. Because there's a line in the combo that you need to have another level 1 to be able to fulfill your board, which is insane. And the protection effect never fails. Never fails. It's always going to be there. People don't sometimes they could play around it, sometimes they just don't because they don't read it. And that's like, sometimes that's a win con in itself. They don't read your cards. It's insane. But yeah, these are like the main garnets you don't want to see. But I guess they all work with Converter, so they're not really garnets because you can discard these off Converter, which is nice, you know. Trail is not so bad because no matter what, if you open it, if you have starts already, then you have a guaranteed level 7 or guaranteed level 8 Synchro, which is really nice. And then of course, one of the best spells the deck has, Synchro Overtake. Oh my god, this every time I talk about this guy, I just can't get it. I just can't justify how good it is. It's just insane. It's just amazing. And then triple tuning. If you saw the Master Duel videos, if you saw the previous builds, I was cutting this card, but I'll explain why I added it back because it's just so important in card economy wise. It just helps so much. It's just good filter, good mill, you know, deck thins as well, which would allows you to play a higher card count deck because you're thinning 2 cards off of this, you know. So you're basically taking away. Okay, so like this in itself. 6 plus the card you're adding plus the card you're milling. That's 9 cards out. You know, this itself on top of it. I guess you can just call 6 because it's the card you add, the card you mill. You know, so that's this is kind of the reason why you're kind of allowed to go with 40 because it just deck thins. And then of course you have your one-ofs. These are the insane one-ofs. You have Rhoda, Fool's Burial, insane. Search Elimination. Oh, this is a new edition. I think you can find a secret. Because I'm not sure if I talked about this before. I'm pretty sure I have. I can't recall. I can't remember. There's so many deck profiles. Okay, so the reason for this is basically because you want to get access to the Strudo. And the way to look at it is because you can't look at it as one Dragon Shrine for one. No, it's not. That's not how you meant to look at it. You're meant to view it this way, right? You're meant to view it like this. There's 3 Destrudos. Or this can send this, right? And that's based off consistency, right? Because you have you have 4 trails, 4 trails or 2 Destrudos. Because you want to be able to hard open this sometimes. You want to have access to this because sometimes you're forced to tribute for Stardust. And the times you have this and not having to search it through Illumination kind of helps you in a way because that means you don't miss out on a tribute effect. The tribute trigger effect, which is really, really nice. And opening up this Trudeau is insane because with Converter means you're always going to be able to trigger Doppel if your junk gets disrupted, which is really cool. And once again, with the Dawnwalker, discard this special, go target Walker, make a level 2, go Ruler with Ant and Walker, mill, and then make Baron, and then have it on you before you summon your Speeder, which is really, really good. Once again, it puts him on a 2 hand trap basis, which is what you want to be doing consistently. And of course, you play 1 for 1 now because you're playing your Jet, right? And it gives you more options. Like some of the things you can do now, because remember how I mentioned before how everyone forgets the first effect. If you synchro with this, you can search a junk synchron or a junk monster. So what happens is you can discard like a start a synchron or discard anything, doesn't matter. Special this, right? And then so you have so many level 2s. That's another reason why you max out the Caligos. You have so many level 2s, right? Then you go special this, right? So you deplete it. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you have 3 more cards in hand, right? So then you right here you go into shaman. It'll either force or negate or it won't. And then you special the maybe the level 2 discarded, special the level 2s in hand. Make a herald, search junk with this, summon, go speeder. So once again, you're putting them on having to have 2 hand traps to stop you, and it's insane. And the fact that it's just another like extender, because sometimes you do need the level 1 tuner, because when your speeder gets stopped, and you have doppel tokens, because sometimes you do risk it, but this allows you to risk it because you go speeder with junk doppel, they go imperm, they go Veiler, doesn't matter. Okay, 1 for 1, discard anything, special this, and you still have a shaman play. Like that's really cool. I really like that about 1 for 1, and you can summon cyberse, which is really nice. And then of course you have your reborn, another really amazing extender. Call by the grave is just like really nice because like you want to stop like 1 second, you want to be able to hit what's his face red for versus Despia, and just hitting scythe when you try to pop it, and just stopping like drool, stopping Ash, Veiler, Crow, it's really good. And going second, it's a really good interaction. And this card, oh my god, I love this card. This card against Patrick, he's playing Sky Striker. And I can't remember, the game got so simplified, I ended up drawing this, and then I went activate, and he did negate. And then, I don't know what I ended up, he had like 3 back row, 3 cards in hand. They all targeted, and I just ended up winning because he couldn't use them. I was like, oh my god, that was so close. It was insane. And like it's good against Chimera, which is one of the biggest things. Because that means you're only playing around 1 banish, which more often than not you can get around that. You can get around 1 banish, And then these are like the main interactive cards. Triple droplet, because I'm not playing any hand traps. Because I wanted to ensure that whatever I went with allowed me to still fulfill my intent. Because although hand traps do prevent things from happening, you're not always going to open them, right? And since you need a guaranteed response for an established board or an established setup, this seemed to fit the bill better than anything else. Because like I could stop them with Ash, I could stop them with Imperm, I could stop them with Draw, I could do all that. You can take that approach as well. But for this event, I wanted to try out, okay, what happens if Despia does full board and I have these? I have higher chances of drawing into this and this still being relevant compared to top decking a hand trap that does nothing post combo, So what I thought about it was, okay, well I can go, okay, so let's say they set red, they have Mirror Jade, they have Masquerade, they have all that stuff, right? So I was like, well, if I have this and I draw into this, that means I can go, okay, I can go twin, force the red. That means that Chimera is gone, right? Because they're either gonna have to fuse or they're not gonna fuse. Doesn't matter. They make another Masquerade. If most likely they'll make a Masquerade to make me burn, and that's fine, right? So then that exposes everything. It gets everything on the field, and Despias are not really on many hand traps, So it's like, and Ash is not really an issue for this deck. It's more so like droplets. It's more so like Imperm Veiler because you can chain block the speeder, which is nice. So Ash is not going to be that much of an issue. So you let them fusion summon, let them get everything. Okay, then after that happens, then you just droplet them, right? You droplet them for their life, and then all you need is just 1 junk summon. Unless they have Merc, then you're in trouble. But like most time, like they kind of, I don't know, depends if they have Merc or not. It really depends. Most of the time they're not gonna have it, and then you use those speeder, and then you just pop out and you just win. Like they just seem logical. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Missing a Baron, sparring a Baron. Thank you, Kaylin. So you have your hot red. The extract has not changed. I was testing Jet Warrior, but there was cards I needed to cut in order to fit it in, and it just it just didn't seem as necessary as I would have hoped. It just didn't. Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Abyss, Chaos Ruler, Crystal Wing, Cyframe Gear, Cyframe Gear, Cyframe Lord Gear. What the hell? Cyframe Lord Omega. Yazi, Stardust Charge, TG Hyper Librarian, Junk Warrior, Junk Speeder, Excel Synchron, Herald the Arclight, of course Cube to Pitch, the ones you help you climb, Metal Marcher, and Celestial. And yeah, tokens. Link in description if you want any token made. You can get these like a secret rare, prismatic rare for to go. Use my promo code to get 10% off. Yeah, the extra deck doesn't seem to like. The thing I was trying out was cutting this for the Jet Warrior, but this kept coming up way too often. And I can't see myself cutting anything else. Like the extra just seems fixed already. It's like you don't really want to change anything. It's not really much you want to change. Yeah, I know it's quite weird. That's pretty much gonna be it. Hopefully, just the video. Let's subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.